Very good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha Television. Well, ahead of crucial assembly polls, now BJP National Executive meet begins today. It will focus on demonetization as well as surgical strikes. That is our big focus at the top of this hour. We also look very closely at the Samajwadi Party feud. Now, rival factions are preparing proof of support for the Election Commission. All the details on that as well, starting with headlines. Election Commission wants source of income of candidates to be made mandatory at the time of filing nomination. Files affidavit in Supreme Court, that is hearing plea by an NGO. Today, BJP National Executive in Delhi, resolution hailing demonetization to fight black money likely to be passed. Prime Minister to address meet on Saturday. Akhilesh camp claims the support of 200 legislators. Efforts to bridge divide with Mulayam fail. Proof of support before Election Commission on Monday. US spy chief says the Russian president ordered election hack. Says motive will be revealed next week. President-elect Donald Trump to be briefed today. And veteran actor Om Puri passes away after suffering a heart attack. He was 66. Well, the Election Commission wants the source of income of candidates, their spouses and dependents to be made mandatory at the time of filing of nomination. Now, in an affidavit before the Supreme Court, the Election Commission also sought amendment in the Representation of the People's Act to bring a transparency in the poll process. Well, the EC wants that a candidate be disqualified not only when he has an existing contract with the government, but also when any member of his family has a similar financial agreement. Well, under this, the current law, the candidate must only disclose the details of assets and liabilities for self, spouse and 3 dependents while filing nomination papers. Now, the EC's submission came in response to a PIL filed by an NGO, Lok Prahari, seeking the court's direction to amend the Representation of the People's Act. On to the other top story. While Uttar Pradesh's ruling Samajwadi Party inched closer towards a formal split on Thursday. Well, a day after the announcement of elections from 4th of February, a large group of MLAs gathered at Akhilesh Yadav's residence in Lucknow. The reports say that around 200 MLAs have already expressed support in favour of Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav.
On a day when senior leaders of the Samajwadi Party once again tried in vain to work out a compromise, several MLAs met at Akhilesh's 5 Kalidas Marg residence in Lucknow. They decided to start collecting affidavits of legislators and office bearers ahead of the show of strength before the Election Commission.
मीटिंग में दिशा निर्देश, राय मशवरा और जो भी चुनाव को लेकर है रणनीति वो तय कर दी जाएगी। वो कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, वो हमारे नेता हैं। नहीं, पर मतलब पार्टी में दो फाड़ होना तय है। दो फाड़ नहीं, पार्टी अखिलेश जी की अध्यक्षता में और नेताजी की संरक्षण में चलेगी।
Akhilesh Yadav tightened his grip over the party by appointing heads of 7 more district party units. On Wednesday, he had named party unit chiefs of 4 districts. On the other hand, the Mulayam faction that had claimed the support of over 50% of the party supporters was huddled in a meeting in New Delhi. Mulayam held discussions with close confidant Amar Singh. His aides maintained that he had sought time from the Election Commission to put forth his stand, but the Commission denied it. Hours after flying into Delhi on Thursday, Mulayam Singh along with Shivpal Yadav returned to Lucknow without meeting the EC.
ऐसे लोग जो इन रिश्तों को नहीं देखना चाहते, इस सरकार को वापस आने नहीं देना चाहते और जिन्होंने फाशिस्ट ताकतों से अंदरूनी खाना बात कर रखी है, वो लोग नहीं चाहते कि ये सरकार वापस हो, ये रिश्ते वापस हो। मैं आज भी पुरुम्मीद हूँ।
The BJP, on the other hand, used the family tussle to criticize the Samajwadi Party for allegedly ignoring the development of the state. It also claimed that intra-party war had only strengthened the BJP's electoral prospects.
ये 5 साल में उत्तर प्रदेश में जो भारी जनधन की लूट हुई थी, उस जनधन की लूट को लेकर ये झगड़ा शुरू हुआ था और आज इस परिणाम तक पहुंच गया है। निश्चित रूप से राजनीतिक दृष्टि से देखें तो दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति है। इनके झगड़े से उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता को निजात मिलने वाला है 11 मार्च को। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी निश्चित रूप से ये चाहती है कि ये कुशासन, भ्रष्टाचार और गुंडाराज से मुक्ति मिले, और ये अगर आपस में लड़ रहे हैं तो जनता को पता है इनकी लड़ाई किस लिए थी।
The Election Commission, on the other hand, asked both camps to prove their strength before January 9th. The two SP factions, one headed by Akhilesh Yadav and the other by Mulayam Singh Yadav, have been seeking control of the party for months. Ahead of the 7-phase election in the state beginning February 11th, the tussle is nowhere close to being settled. It has only split the SP's contest in the face of a tough challenge by the BJP, the Bahujan Samaj Party and the Congress.
The ruling Samajwadi Party doesn't know on which symbol it is going to contest the elections. Party leaders do not know who is the national president. There's no clarity whether party's name, the Samajwadi Party, will remain valid in the upcoming elections. And one mustn't forget that the election notification would be issued in next 5 days. Reporting from Lucknow with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
In fact, my colleague Kriti Mishra, in fact, is joining us live from Lucknow. Kriti, very good morning. Now, with all the attempts at brokering peace in the Samajwadi Party really having come to a naught, now rival factions led by Mulayam Singh and Akhilesh are now seeking to retain the party name as well as symbol. Now, Mulayam Singh Yadav is in national capital. What is happening in Lucknow in Akhilesh's camp today?
Well, Aishwarya, Mulayam Singh Yadav reached back Lucknow yesterday. In fact, he was not slated to come back to the state capital, but a charter flight was sent to get him back because there were talks that, in fact, a conclusive agreement, a conclusive compromise could be drawn between the two factions. Now, it was stated that Akhilesh Yadav and Azam Khan would go to the airport and receive Mulayam Singh. But meanwhile, they got the report that in fact Amar Singh Yadav is also accompanying Mulayam Singh Yadav. So the talks could not take place yesterday. In fact, late night, a lot of attempts were made to get some kind of peace deal through between these warring factions, but that couldn't happen. So it remains to be seen whether these two factions would come together or they have their different ways. Aishwarya?
Kriti, at the same time, despite these talks of reconciliation, now Akhilesh Yadav camp has claimed that they have secured the signed affidavits of over 200 MLAs as well as MLCs. Is there any official word on that?
Well, Aishwarya, there was a meeting yesterday which ran through several hours at 5 Kalidas Marg, which is the official residence of the Chief Minister. Now, what we are learning is that more than 200 MLAs have signed the affidavit to give to the EC. But MLAs are not confirming, they're just saying that they're rallying behind Akhilesh Yadav. So Akhilesh Yadav seems to be enjoying the strength in the party. In fact, the Akhilesh's camp is saying that most of the party legislators, in fact 90% of the party is supporting Akhilesh Yadav. Meanwhile, Mulayam Singh Yadav's camp is saying that in fact, according to the rules and the bylaws, Mulayam Singh Yadav is in a stronger position. So it remains to be seen how this entire scuffle pans out in coming days, because in fact January 9 is the date that they have to get back to the Election Commission.
Absolutely, absolutely. So both the factions are actually racing against time. They have to show the support for their party to the Election Commission. Thank you so much, Kriti, for all those updates there. We'll keep coming back to you. Meanwhile, a two-day BJP National Executive meet begins in New Delhi today. Well, the meeting will be presided by Party President Amit Shah to finalize the agenda of the National Executive. Now, an economic resolution hailing the demonetization move as an important step in government's war against black money and corruption is likely to be passed. Well, the top BJP brass is also expected to corner the opposition for its criticism of note ban as an attempt to protect the corrupt. A separate political resolution is also expected to focus on the surgical strikes in the aftermath of the Uri terror attack. The agenda for the upcoming elections in 5 states will also be discussed at the meet. Now, Amit Shah will deliver the inaugural address, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to give the valedictory speech on Saturday. Well, former party presidents, chief ministers as well as around 350 members will take part in this executive meet. Meanwhile, the Congress will be holding a national convention on 11th of January in Delhi to turn the issue of demonetization into a major issue in the upcoming assembly polls. Well, the party aims to project the government's decision as anti-poor. Well, all top leaders of the party, including CWC members, AICC delegates, PCC chiefs and all party MPs and MLAs from states are being invited for the day-long meet, which will be addressed by Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Well, Rahul Gandhi has described the move by the centre as the single biggest arbitrary decision in the history of the world. And not only that, the Congress will also hold a nationwide protest from today against a demonetization move and corruption charges against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, the party is beginning a three-phase nationwide agitation where party leaders as well as workers will protest outside collectorate offices in all districts across the country and will also submit a memorandum to the President through deputy commissioners and district collectors against the demonetization of all 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Well, the party has also alleged that the Modi government has imposed economic anarchy through demonetization. Earlier, the Congress Vice President had accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of taking 65 crore rupees in kickbacks from Sahara and Birla as the then Chief Minister of Gujarat. And President Pranab Mukherjee has cautioned that demonetization could lead to a temporary slowdown in the economy and hurt the poor. Now, reacting to the government's focus shift from what he called an entitlement-based approach to an entrepreneurial one, the president said that he was not too sure that the poor could wait that long to endure the gestation involved in the transition. In his New Year's video address to the governors and lieutenant governors, the president called 2016 a year of mixed fortunes. He said that the year started on a positive note with the economy looking up, but ended with the exports slowing down. Now, these losses, the president pointed out, could be recovered by improving the competitiveness of the domestic industry. Well, Mukherjee also hoped that the recent package announced by the Prime Minister will provide some relief. Meanwhile, referring to the upcoming elections, the president noted that electoral rhetoric and noisy debates could deepen the fault lines in the society, reminding the governors that vested interests and communal tensions could rear their ugly head. He advised them that the rule of law must form the sole basis of dealing with challenging situations. And the Congress party has hailed President Pranab Mukherjee's remarks on demonetization. Well, a senior Congress leader, Randeep Singh Surjewala, said that the president has shown the truth to Prime Minister Narendra Modi over his demonetization decision.
President of India has now shown the truth of demonetization to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government. That demonetization is an attack on India's poor, India's farmers, India's youth, small traders, small shopkeepers and small businesses. President has said three very important things. That demonetization will lead to contraction of economy and slowing down and reduction of GDP. The direct impact would come on India's poor and farmers. Will Modi ji recoup their losses? President of India has said that poor cannot wait. Does Modi ji even understand it? President of India has said a third important thing. Our country is a welfare state where poor and ordinary people of India have first right over state's resources. Modi ji has converted this model from a welfare state to a suit-boot sarkar.
And to some other news now, well, a parliamentary standing committee has voiced concern over security of digital transactions and pressed for overhauling the legal framework for it. Now, as the government pushes for a cashless economy, the Standing Committee on Information Technology, chaired by BJP MP Anurag Thakur, also called for creating awareness about safe online practices. Well, an emphasis on the need to overhaul the legal framework for digital transactions, improving network connectivity, ensuring security of data and creating awareness about safe online practices was also discussed during the meet. And now let's take a look at the events that are lined up for the day in the day ahead. The three-day meeting of the Central Committee of CPIM will begin in Thiruvananthapuram today to work out a political strategy to be adopted in the upcoming assembly polls that are to be held later this year, and also deliberate on national issues. Well, the meeting will be attended by all Central Committee members of the party from across the country. It is significant that the Central Committee is being held in Kerala 7 months after the party-led LDF headed by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan assumed the office. The Senior Selection Committee of the BCCI will meet today in Mumbai to select the team for the India-England ODI and T20 International Series. The BCCI said that the agenda of the meeting will be to select the Team A to play 2 warm-up one-day matches against England at CCI Mumbai, and also the Indian team for the 3-match ODI and the 3-match T20 Series to be played against England from 15th of January to 1st of February. A Delhi court will hear the bail plea of Kolkata-based businessman Parasmal Lodha in a money laundering case today. Earlier, the court had sent him to Enforcement Directorate custody. Lodha was arrested for converting demonetized notes worth 25 crore rupees linked to industrialist J. Sekhar Reddy and lawyer Rohit Tandon into new currency. And some sad news coming in. Well, veteran actor Om Puri is no more. He passed away early today following a heart attack. He was 66. Now, he has appeared in Hindi, English and Pakistan films and had effortlessly worked in both mainstream commercial as well as art cinema. He was also a recipient of the 4th highest civilian award, the Padma Shri. Now, the Prime Minister has condoled the passing away of the actor. He recalled his long career in theatre and films. Well, senior journalist Nilendu Sen is now joining us on the phone line. Thank you so much for joining in. It seems this year 2017 has started off on a very sad note now. There's a huge void as veteran actor Om Puri has left this world.
Extremely sad news, and I think Om's passing has of course left a huge void, and it's a setback for the film industry because he was active and he was still working, and he was working both in Indian, he was working in television, ad films, and he was working in overseas productions as well, and he was lending his voice to some very, very progressive thought processes in the country. So his loss is immensely felt, and I don't have the words to describe.
Absolutely a big loss, really, not only for the Hindi film industry, but the other film industries as well, because he worked with...
You have to understand that people like Om Puri did not belong to one particular film industry.
Absolutely.
Because in India, there was this, when the new wave Indian cinema started, it required a certain kind of actors, and Om Puri was at the forefront of that movement. The cinema of Shyam Benegal, the cinema of, let's say, Govind Nihalani, and he became his face and his voice and his personality were complete antithesis to what would you have as the leading man in Indian commercial cinema, and established him and others as not just stars, but as complete actors who brought method into film acting, and became the part itself. If you recall the iconic films like Akhilesh and Ardha Satya, you would realize that you don't recall this Om Puri. What you recall is the part that the actor played.
Right.
Unlike before them, that you would refer to the role by the name of the actor. Later on, it changed with people like Om Puri primarily, and
Right.
of course Nasruddin Shah and so on.
Right. Sir, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your views on that. Now, senior journalist Irfan is also joining us on the phone line. Good morning, Irfan sir. Very good and really very sad news coming just beginning of in 2017. How would you look at Om Puri's contribution to the entire film industry, including Hindi cinema, English cinema, as well as Pakistan films?
ऐश्वर्या, इस वक्त जबकि मुझे ये खबर मिली है, मैं खुद ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ और ये मेरे लिए एक बिल्कुल बहुत सदमे और एक शॉक की तरह आई है, क्योंकि ओम पुरी के साथ जिस तरह का हम लोगों का दोस्ताना और एक नज़दीकियाँ थी, वो एक बिल्कुल एक पर्सनल लॉस की तरह है। और सिनेमा के लिए भी अगर आप देखें तो ओम पुरी ने जब फिल्मों में एंटर किया तो उस तरह के मामूली चेहरे मोहरे वाले आदमी ऐसी जगह हुआ ही नहीं करती थी। और ये सब लोग जानते हैं कि नेशनल स्कूल ऑफ ड्रामा से निकलकर एफटीआई हुए किस तरह से उनकी जर्नी और एक स्ट्रगल रहा, लेकिन एक मामूली से हरियाणा के एक छोटे से इलाके से एक मॉडरेट परिवार से निकलकर इस तरह की अंतर्राष्ट्रीय ऊंचाइयां छुई और जिस तरह से दूसरे एक्टर्स के इंस्पिरेशन बने, वो एक सचमुच एक अद्भुत एक मिसाल की तरह है कि ओम पुरी को जब तक ये एक्टिंग की दुनिया रहेगी और उनको याद किया जाएगा। और ओम पुरी ने ये करके दिखाया कि इंसान अगर अपनी लगन और प्रतिभा के बल पर अगर कोशिश करता रहे तो वो कुछ भी कर सकता है। और ओम पुरी के बारे में अगर ऐसे भी देखें तो एक्टर होने के अलावा बहुत ही अच्छे ह्यूमन बीइंग और तमाम सामयिक विषयों पर वोकल एक आदमी इंसान भी थे।
Right. Definitely, his contribution was not only restricted to the Hindi film industry, but he also, in fact, acted in several regional films as well as several international ventures as well. And here are some of the best memories that Om Puri has, the artist really has given to his audience. Just take a look.
मेरे खिलाफ बगावत करने का अंजाम मुझे कोई नहीं मार सकता।
जनाब तुसी पैसे ही खब्बे हाथ नाल दन्ने हो, मैं तो जो जो खाना है सुकदा ही जाना है। देखो
अबे नाटक में से लिखा है।
ओए चलो पालन तो कभी हमने अपने बाप की आज्ञा का नहीं किया।
मैं किसी आने वाली नस्लों के लिए नहीं लड़ रहा हूँ, मुझे अपना हक चाहिए।
मैं ऐसे लोकतंत्र में विश्वास नहीं करता जो गरीबों की इज्जत करना नहीं जानता।
A big loss really. And now let's take a look at the other developments across the nation in Nationwide. The National Human Rights Commission has taken a suo motu cognizance of media reports regarding deaths of 106 farmers during a period in 1 month in Tamil Nadu. The Commission has issued a notice to the Chief Secretary calling for a detailed report on the issue within 6 weeks. Well, the Chief Secretary has been asked to also inform about the steps taken or proposed to be taken by the state government. The Madras High Court has dismissed a batch of petitions, including that of Karti Chidambaram, challenging summons by ED in a connection with the probe into the Aircel Maxis deal. The petitioners had challenged the summons. Now, Karti Chidambaram had said that the summons was malice in law and that there was a campaign to bring discredit and harm to his reputation. Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Kiran Bedi has cancelled the order of Chief Minister V. Narayanasamy banning the use of social media for official communication. Now, Narayanasamy had issued the circular even as Bedi was pushing with her plan to promote WhatsApp communication by officials. Now, the CM, however, said that there is no tiff really between him and Bedi as is being projected. On to news from Punjab now. Well, days ahead of the assembly elections in the state, now 25 people have been arrested for trespassing into the Fazilka prison. Now, on Wednesday night, 24 visitors affiliated with the SAD, that is Shiromani Akali Dal, were holding a meeting inside the jail with inmate Shivlal Doda, a liquor baron who is considered to be close to Deputy Chief Minister Sukhbir Badal. The meeting, however, was in violation of the specified time laid down for meeting inmates. Now, the police also seized 3.28 lakh lakh rupees, some mobile phones and impounded 7 vehicles as well. The incident comes to light after State Election Commission conducted surprise raids at Fazilka and Amritsar jails after the Model Code of Conduct came into force. Well, the poll body has now asked the State Home Department to submit a detailed report on the matter within a month, and the jail deputy superintendent has also been suspended. Now, Shivlal Doda and his nephew are facing charges of criminal conspiracy and murder for allegedly killing a Dalit youth last year. Well, after the trespassing incident, both have been shifted to the Amritsar Central Jail. Meanwhile, the Punjab Congress has demanded dismissal of the Badal government and imposition of president's rule in the state. The Aam Aadmi Party has also said that the jail incident showed sad patronage of culprits.
मामला दर्ज कर रहे हैं ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੈਟਰ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਡੀਸੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੰਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਫਆਈਆਰ ਲੌਂਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਸ ਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਨਆਥੋਰਾਈਜ਼ਡ ਪਰਸਨ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਚੈਕਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਚੈਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਨ ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ 24 ਬੰਦੇ ਅਨਆਥੋਰਾਈਜ਼ਡਲੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਪੂਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੋਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਬਰੀਫ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ
On to news from Uttar Pradesh. Well, the BSP took a head start over its political rivals in the state by becoming the first party to release its candidate list. Now, the party has named 100 contestants, with over one-third seats going to Muslims. At a recent press conference, BSP chief Mayawati disclosed that the party had shortlisted names of the candidates for all the 403 seats. She said that the names which had been finalized in advance will not be changed. Now, the party is set to give 87 tickets to Dalits, 97 to Muslims, 106 to OBCs and 113 to upper castes. Muslims, remember, account for nearly 20% of the state's electorate. News from the national capital now. Well, to decongest Connaught Place, Delhi's iconic commercial hub, the government is now mulling a ban to the entry of vehicles inside the market for a period of 3 months starting from February on a pilot basis. The middle and the inner circular roads of Connaught Place will be vehicle-free. A decision in this regard was taken at a meeting attended by officials from the Urban Development Ministry, NDMC and Delhi Police on Thursday. According to officials, now pedestrianization actually could be promoted by providing effective park and ride services from the major parking areas. Besides cycle hiring, the battery-operated vehicles would also be deployed to take people to the business district. And the government has imposed anti-dumping duty on imports of jute and its products from Bangladesh and Nepal. Now, this duty ranging from 6.3 to 351.72 $2 per tons has to be imposed to protect the domestic industry. Well, a Revenue Department notification says that the duty has been imposed for 5 years. The import restrictive levy has been imposed on jute, yarn and twine, Hessian fabric and also the jute sacking bags. Now, the step has been initiated based on a complaint of local players. The Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allies the Duties has initiated a probe into it. It has said that the imports were undercutting and suppressing the prices of the domestic industry. On to our top international focus now. Well, the United States intelligence chief has reiterated that Russia staged cyber attacks on Democrats during the 2016 election campaign, rebuking skepticism from Republican President-elect Donald Trump on whether Moscow was indeed involved. On Thursday, James Clapper, the director of U.S. intelligence, promised to explain next week why Russia allegedly meddled in the U.S. presidential election. Well, the development came as top U.S. intelligence officials gave testimony to the Senate Armed Services Committee, which is investigating the alleged interference. Now, in their assessment, Moscow interfered to help Trump, the Republican candidate, beat Democrat Hillary Clinton. Russia has, however, denied the involvement, but the U.S. has announced sanctions against Russian officials. Now, a report on foreign meddling in U.S. relations was given to President Barack Obama on Thursday, and Donald Trump is to be briefed on the report today, and the unclassified version will be made public next week.
They did not change any vote tallies or anything of that sort.
Yeah, I'm just talking
we have
about,
we have no way of gauging the impact that certainly the intelligence community can't gauge the impact it had on choices the electorate made. There's no way for us to gauge that. Whether or not that constitutes an act of war, I think, is a very heavy policy call that I don't believe the intelligence community should make, but it's certainly would carry, in my view, great gravity.
And that's all in this edition of news, but news and updates continue on Rajya Sabha Television. Thanks for watching.